Alright guys, there's a lot of information I'm going to be talking about in today's video. There's so much going on inside of the February season in Clash Royale. First of all, Clash Royale is actually giving us a free evolution alongside a lot of rewards you get daily. There's also going to be 2 evolution slots coming to the game. I'm going to explain how that works. And also, the Evolved Bomber and Wall Breakers are actually getting emergency changes before they're released too. We're going to be talking about all those things in today's video. So how it works, guys, is during the first week of the February season, you get daily rewards for free. So every day, you have 24 hours to claim each of the gifts. On February 5th, you get 500 common wildcards. February 6th, you get 600 season tokens. The 7th, you get 100 rare wildcards. The next day, you get 100 banner tokens. On February 9th, you get 10 epic wildcards. On the 10th, you get 1 overflowing gold crate. On the 11th, you get a legendary wild card. On the 12th, you get a lightning chest. And then on Valentine's Day, February 14th, you get a free evolution. Unfortunately, though, some of the evolutions are not available to be picked. You're going to be able to choose from the Evolved Skeletons, Recruits, Royal Giant, Mortar, Evo Knight, Evo Firecracker, Evo Bats, and Evo Barbarians. The Evolved Wall Breakers, the Evolved Valkyrie, Evo Ice Spirit, Bomber, and Archers. Unfortunately, you're not able to claim those because they don't want to let people claim the new ones, apparently. And don't worry, this is available to everyone as long as your King Tower level is level 7 or higher, which pretty much applies to probably about 99% of people watching. And the second big thing coming to the game is the second evolution slot. And this is not just inside of an Evo Royal tournament. It's actually going to be in the game now in a bunch of other game modes. Unfortunately, guys, you are not going to be happy to hear this. The second evolution slot is going to be incredibly pay to win because your King Tower needs to be level 15. And in their leveling system, this is equivalent to the level up 54, and that is when you unlock the second evolution slot. Unfortunately, if your king level is 14 or below, you're only going to have access to 1 evolution still. So 2 evolutions will now be pretty much everywhere. Path of Legends Trophy Road and even Clan Wars. I assume they will also be on Grand Challenges too, but it might not immediately be on Grand Challenges. It might take a few months until they're on there. And now, guys, the last big topic to discuss this video are the final pre-card release balance changes. So if you watched my video on the Evolved Bomber or any content creator's video on it, you would know it is absolutely broken. And one of the biggest reasons why was because it didn't die to arrows, because it had a hit points bonus, but they decided to remove that. So now it dies to arrows. With that being said, though, I still think it's going to be very broken because it's only a 1-cycle evolution, but I guess only time will tell, and at least now at the bare minimum, there is at least a decent way of taking it out, even though it's a negative trade. Now, this next one for the Evolved Wall Breakers is kind of interesting. It's a rework. I couldn't tell you guys if this is going to make the card much worse. In fact, it might even potentially make it better because reworks get kind of interesting, but the Evolved Wall Breakers look just as broken as the Evo Bomber, so hopefully this rework ends up being a small nerf. The only thing that changed, pay attention to the runners and their death damage. The normal wall breakers and the evolved wall breakers are the exact same, you can see on the stats, but they essentially swap the runner's damage and the death damage, and those are the 2 numbers, 392 and 195, so I honestly don't think this is a massive change. I still think they're going to be very broken. From the text here, you guys might be able to understand the Evolved Wallbreaker rework better. Now, the last stage runners will deal twice as much damage. This means that the second stage will deal the same damage as normal wall breakers. In contrast, the barrel walkers will deal half as much damage when destroyed, meaning they'll have a harder time breaking through swarms. For example, a single explosion will no longer be enough to kill goblins. And now, guys, with all the main information out of the way, I thought you guys would be curious to see what the community thinks about all these changes, especially the 2 evolution slots, because it's going to completely change the way the game is played, and then we'll see what people's opinion are of the final balances as well. Ruining the game. It's so over. I'm starting to think you guys have fun ruining the game, so everyone seems to hate it. Based on the fact nobody asked or wants this, it seemed like a great idea. Let's go. We always ask for this. Thank you so much for listening to the community. I sense sarcasm. We see a sad gif. Ah ha ha ha, you literally destroyed your game. What a joke. Free-to-play players with only 1 evolved card. Supercell, after this update, they're going to be making so much money for real. So this is the first positive comment I found. Love it. Players who have put in the time and effort at the top need this creativity. Great job. Only thing keeping us playing are the risks y'all continue to take to make the game remain number one. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to read these. Okay, so he's getting ratioed. What about the people that can't play every day? And even me who've been playing every day, I don't have level 15. How much did they pay you? Now let's see what people's opinion are on the balance changes, and then after that we'll see what's been going on inside of Clash Royale Reddit. Based on your feedback. Oh, it said based on your feedback, so he's quoting that because he thinks that's BS and it's not because of people's feedback. I mean, that's fair. Announce the Bowler nerf too. Bowler has been pretty OP recently. That's still one cycle though. That's what I'm saying. The Bomber being one cycle, I still think it's going to be broken. Better than nothing, I guess. They will still be way too strong. That's what I'm thinking as well. And yeah, as I expected, most people are happy with these changes, but I feel like these nerfs were kind of the bare minimum, to be fair. People are saying good, it still needs a little bit of a nerf, but that's already it. Thanks. Wonderful start. Nice, but they need to buff Expo. Nice. So yeah, most people are happy with the changes. Let's actually see what Reddit's opinion is on the 2 evolution slots. This post was only from 17 hours ago and it already has a lot of upvotes. So level 15 folks are getting a second evolution slot. If the people don't act now, then I don't know how many level 14 players would be able to continue playing the game. Maxed out level 15s already ruined the game for us, and now we have to play against 2 evolutions too. And I agree, this is a massive disadvantage. I don't see how you're going to be able to beat someone that has 2 evolutions when you only have 1, especially if they have higher level cards too on top of that. That's just too much. And the reasoning does not make sense because most people don't have enough Evos. You should already have at least 2 to 3 evolutions as a free-to-play player if you use the season shop and play events. Why make the active players suffer the consequence of other players not playing enough? I'm so done. If this makes it somehow, I don't see how I'd continue playing the game. Y'all better protest or something. And through this post, I am doing my part. Either lock level 15s together or just stop. And I agree, I think there is going to be a lot of outrage and protests happening, especially on Reddit. I mean, probably more Clash Royale boycotts and all that stuff, but unfortunately, none of them worked, and the devs didn't listen to any of our feedback, and I think, unfortunately, that might sadly be the case with this situation as well. We can, yeah, look at some of the comments here as I continue talking. But yeah, it's honestly, guys, at this point, it is not really looking good, and I know they are giving an evolution for free, but at the end of the day, I think because a lot of the broken evils get nerfed, when people pick the free evolution, if it ends up getting nerfed, they're still going to be behind the players that are maxed and, of course, have access to all the evolutions. So free-to-play players are still going to suffer, I guess is what I am trying to say. Alright guys, well that's all the information about the February season and the community's feedback. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Personally, I think the double Evos could be kind of fun sometimes, but I think for the majority of the community, especially free-to-play players and just most people in general, I think it is a very bad change for the game, and I am kind of sad to see it.